ever get any money from Costello?
No.
And did you ever get any money from Meyer Lansky?
I never got money from any of those fellas.
None of those
None
fellas?
of those fellas. None of these that I've been reading about, or none that I knew. They never gave me anything.
None of the Fichettes?
No.
You
I
think-
don't even speak to the... I mean, I met that Charlie once or twice. I don't even talk to him.
You don't like him?
I was conscious of the fact that he had a reputation for being an outstanding bookmaker.
You ever hear him referred to as the Prime Minister of the Underworld?
That term I did not.
Also known as Duck Corella. I refuse to answer on the grounds of negligence. You got any business? I refuse to answer on the grounds of attempt to criminal. You have any profession? I refuse to answer on the grounds of made in. Have any occupation? I refuse to answer on the grounds of made in. Are you a known racketeer?
Good evening, folks. Welcome to Interrogation. We're back after a little hiatus caused by myself. We've got Jason with us here tonight, and we've got Lamar on the intelligence side, and maybe our other friend will make it tonight, but you know, life gets in the way sometimes on these things. How you guys doing tonight?
Fantastic. Looking forward to another great session with you fellas.
We've got some good ones for tonight.
I'm actually fighting a cold, so if my voice sounds different, I'll give it my best shot.
You're still sounding very McGruffish. I'll give you that, Jason, so we'll be okay.
Fair enough.
All right, well, let's get to it. Our first video is going to be an investigation into the murder of a young man named Kenny Bunn. Kenny has got a girlfriend, had a girlfriend. They had some issues, and of course they break up. You know how that goes. Young love, 19, 18 years old. She gets a new man, and some things happen. She's the last seen with Kenny Bunn, and then one day, and then the next day he's found on next to a river with a gunshot wound, a couple of gunshot wounds. So the investigation, you know, as investigations go, you start at the victim and you work your way out to the closest people. The last person to see them alive is always somebody that you want to talk to. They get around the road there, and they decide that she's the last one that he might have been seen with alive. And that's where we're going to start this. We're going to start this with a pre-interview, our initial interview, and then it's going to go into an interrogation. But this is an interesting one to see how, as law enforcement gathers, you guys heard us talk about this before, as law enforcement gathers more and more details, they're not out front like we want them to be with the news media. Hey, today we learned. That kind of keeps some of this to their vest. And this is, you're going to see a good reason why here. They're able to bring these into a close circle to ambush. And when they realize that it's too late, and this is going to be some good examples. Let's take a look at this one. So this is the initial interview. Law enforcement, you know, they come into someone's house. Hey, we just want to talk to you about what you might know. Nobody's a suspect here or any of that. And it says there, Kenny was found dead, dumped in the river with some gunshot wounds. That's pretty much what law enforcement knows, that there's a connection between this male and female. I believe that's mom's lover there in the black shirt, or could be wife, whatever. And that's mom in the black jacket with.
I'm a butter.
Butter.
Yeah. Trust me, he knows. When people say, "Oh, don't worry about that," I'm always like,
before we get started, can I just get your basic information? I know they'll be.
"Yeah, sure."
What's your full name?
Nadia Captain Florence.
How do you spell that?
Nadya. Catherine and Swartz.
What's your date of birth?
February 26, 2000.
Before we get too far, Jason, in an interview like this, you've got someone who's a teenager, maybe not in school, but a young adult, lives in mom's house. You've got boyfriend there that seems pretty comfortable in mom's house. Are you watching mom during this, see how her reaction is and to even maybe what their children are saying?
Yeah, most moms are going to want to protect their children at no cost. So, and because they're juveniles in our state, at least we have to get parent permission, and they can sit in on the interrogation if they want.
Well, now they're of age.
Oh, they are of age. Okay.
Are adults just living, the situation, living in mom's
Okay,
house.
then I'll backtrack. Yes, I'm watching mom very closely.
Mom sometimes will give a tell. Parents and particularly moms know when their kids aren't telling the truth. But I would encourage everyone keep an eye on mom during this interaction.
It's your birthday.
Yeah, 20 years old now.
And phone number you can be reached at?
I just got a new phone, so I'm kind of still iffy on the number.
Mom and you too.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not like real good with remembering my numbers when I first.
You shouldn't have to remember yours.
76. I'm Joanne. I'm
Mother.
her mother.
Justin.
Peyton Hunter.
What was it?
Peyton, P-A-Y-T-O-N. Hooker.
I don't know why I was thinking Paxton.
For a while.
But they won't talk to Michael.
No.
Okay.
Michael
Phone
Washington,
number is also,
please.
phone number is also, she probably have it.
Warm water.
Oh, she'll have your phone number. as
Yeah,
well.
it's also, I got the phone at the same time, so.
Oh, yeah, okay. So when did y'all get the numbers?
Right after I destroyed my phone, it destroyed it by accident.
It was the end of January.
Oh, okay.
Conviction accept date.
No, that's fine.
I didn't mean to break his. I thought it was totally my phone. I threw his and like,
Justin.
crap.
Did you already give a big date of birth?
11/22/99.
His phone number 706.
So do y'all know what we want to talk about?
I'm not sure.
Well, what do you think we want to talk about?
Last night,
Well, I had to go take Michael's, he had a friend over here. I went across the bridge, last night, taking his buddy home.
Sure.
I assumed there was something going on over there.
Mhm.
Don't know what it is, but I assume that might be what you're over here for.
Yeah.
I just seen that there was a crime scene there because I had to go across the bridge, take him home. I had to come back, but I have no idea what it's about.
Okay. Yeah, it is about the bridge. So it's about Kenny. You know Kenny? How do you know Kenny?
He's my ex,
Okay.
and the relationship wasn't the best. He got me on stuff. He kept yelling at me about stuff, and
Meth is what he got her on.
Got her mad.
I'm off it now.
She's off an hour.
It's hard to do. That's an accomplishment in itself.
She did it on her own too.
With the help of him. If it wasn't for him, I would have never left.
Now, when's the last time you and Kenny talked?
Last time me and him talked was I wanted to ask him something, so I went over there Saturday just so I could say.
I don't mean to stop this on such a non-point, but look at B's comment here. B's a loyal watcher of the show. We love her comments. She says, Mom loves the color yellow. Is she the lady speaking or the one in the green collar? She's the one in green collar. But I want to point out that everyone else is watching eye movements and how everyone's reacting because we're suspicious of this. And B's checking out the decor and deciding the lady has a great deal of respect for the color yellow. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing in this type of situation. I just want to point it out what B's seeing in this video. Does that matter, Jason or Lamar? Would you put the color choices of the suspect being interviewed any weight?
No, I wouldn't personally.
No, no.
Well, B says she would because yellow is joyful. Here we go back.
Because I want to know why he treated me the way he treated me, because he had a knife to my leg and said if I left, he'll cut it off. Had a knife to my dog's neck and said if she don't stop chewing stuff up, she was going to slit her neck. I want to know why he was so mean to both of us. Got to the point where my dog would hide underneath the bed. I got to the point where there was a couple of times where we had this dog kennel for Outlaw so we could potty train her better. The way my
She's
mom
the gift
did
that
Cleo
keeps on
and
giving.
Gizmo.
Mm-hmm.
there's times where he'll basically lock me up in the kennel and say, if you leave, I'm going to bash your head in.
So you're saying Saturday, you went to his house, is that on Sonia Drive?
Yeah, I went to his so I could ask, I just want to know why he treated me that way.
Okay.
Because it hurts. Like I can't, those memories are not going to go away. The fear I had and everything that I went through. And I just want to know why. And why he said he didn't mean it. He was still messed up on it to the point where he wasn't thinking about anybody else. He was thinking about his next fix. That's what all he was thinking about was just his next fix.
Was he still using?
I don't know. His mom says he's not, but again, he lies to her all the time, and he got to the point where he's been lying to me. So I really don't know.
How did he get his money for his?
I worked my butt off every single day, and he would yell at me when I get money. He's like, he would be like so mad at me if I don't get his next fix. So I went and got it so he could just not yell at me anymore.
Okay.
But I dropped him off at a gas station, and he got mad at me for, I forgot what I said. I don't remember what exactly I said, but something I said ticked him off, and he said, pull over, I want to walk. So that's what I did. I pulled over, he got out of the car and started walking. I felt bad because I didn't want him walking from the gas station all the way back to Pass. And I said, hey, can you just get back in the car? I'll drive you back over there. He's like, no, I'm not getting in that car with you. So I said, are you sure? He's like, yeah, I'm sure. I don't want to be around you anymore. So I just drove off.
Now, what about you, Justin? Do you and Kenny, have you talked, or y'all having any
We
issues?
don't really talk.
Have y'all had issues?
Not since like Sonic, which was like 2 months ago.
Two?
Yeah, he
2 months ago?
went to Sonic, and
That's where she works at.
that's
Okay.
that's where I work at. But he went to Sonic, and I still work there. And he was trying to get me to get him back, and he's like, if you don't come back to me, in my books, you're considered a whore.
I told him that he just needed to leave her alone, and he ended up driving off after that.
Yeah, turned it like whenever he's past Justin, he smiled, flipped him off, and kept driving.
So, and how old were you, Justin?
20.
20. Okay. So I know when I was 20, if somebody would have said something like that to my girlfriend, did it get a little bit more animated than that? Like,
No,
I know.
Kenny just kept driving off.
So the last time you saw or talked to Kenny was on Saturday, which would have been the 14th, I think.
I really don't know. It was
That's the
14th.
14th.
Okay, this is do we remember in the story before we get here? Everybody catching the story? She said the last time she saw Kenny, that she went to him to find out why you treated me so bad, and they rode around. He got mad, stopped, pull over. I want out. She pulls over to the gas station, but she felt bad, but he wouldn't get back in the car with her, and that was the last place that she saw him alive. That was pretty key there. Did you catch in the surveillance video there, everyone, that they show Kenny? It shows the young lady. They swirl around the car going back and forth, and they wind up both leaving in that same vehicle together. That's going to be key in this for law enforcement. Any questions before we go forward?
Nope. No, I'm good to go.
All right. I do want to ask everyone that's watching, folks, especially on X, because I can't really put out a preview for that. Give us a retweet. A quote retweet works very well. See if we can't help ourselves in the algorithm and get more eyes on what we're doing here. But a couple of days have gone by. The investigation is continued. Now they've got young Justin in the little room sitting in the chair with no wheels. Actually, I think that it does have wheels. I don't understand it, but it shouldn't have wheels. But he's in the interrogation room. The temperature is about to get turned up on this young man.
Hey, Justin. Hey. You want some water or anything? You got some water. You do. All right. You want to talk to me if I take those off? You gonna behave yourself?
Yeah, I ain't, like I told everybody else so far, I ain't going nowhere.
All right. Let me get the keys for you.
I'm guessing this is what, or about what y'all talked to me and her about the other day.
Hold on just a second. Let's get everybody's situation comfortable first, okay? A double lock over there. There we go.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Did you feel so great to back that car with those?
Yeah, sorry about that. Listen, we do want to talk to you and realize that there's every time there's two sides of a story. We've been talking to people about stuff, which you know.
Yeah.
Before I do, I need to read you something, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any question if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand your rights?
I do, but wouldn't do anything.
Well, that's fine. But listen, it's just something we have to do because you're here. And we can talk about it more, okay? And at any point you don't want to talk, that's all you got to say, okay? All right, having these rights in mind, would you be willing to talk to me?
Yeah.
Okay. And you understand your rights, correct?
Yeah.
All right. You have any idea why we're here? You're kind of talking about it just a second ago.
Guess I'm having something to do with what y'all talked to us about. I don't know myself.
Mm-hmm. We didn't talk to you about it too much out there.
I was still there.
Yeah, you were there, but you know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
To an extent. Well, what do you know about it?
I know y'all found the body, and I know that y'all questioned her because she was the last one seen.
Brings us back to the interrogation room where we began, with Justin Hooker now facing formal questioning.
Now, you just said that you'd like to see your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Why do you want to see her?
Just because if they picked me up, I'm sure they picked her up, and I'm sure she's scared. She got anxiety.
Why would you think we're picking her up?
Because they asked me where she was at.
Oh, there's that. Yeah, that's pretty easy to answer, right? So listen, a lot going on. We've talked to a lot of people. We're just trying to figure stuff out. Always two sides of the story, and a lot of times stuff happens. Okay, what we have to determine is, did a good person just situations get out of control, a bad thing happened that really wouldn't happen, or somebody's just a bad person. Okay,
Y'all got the wrong people though.
people from what?
If y'all are picking us up, then y'all have the wrong people.
Why's that? Why do you say that?
Because we didn't do anything.
Okay. Do you have a cousin named Kevin?
Yeah,
Did you buy a gun from Kevin?
I have before.
When did you buy a gun from him?
I've had some in the past from him, and
Listen, so by talking, you know that I know a little bit more. We're not here to beat you up. I promise.
I did not do anything.
Okay. You didn't buy a pistol from your cousin Kevin, or you did buy one a while back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so let me ask you this. We are looking into what happened to Kenny. Okay, we all know that, right?
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what y'all talked to me about the other day. They want to hear about.
Have you talked about that to anybody else?
Not really. I mean, I told one of my friends in Utah that something was going on, but I didn't really know what it was exactly, and I knew we weren't involved.
Friend in Utah, when did you talk to them about it?
After y'all talked to us.
Okay. So let's start off. Let's do some basic stuff here, okay? But you and Nadia live in the apartments, Skyline apartments, together. Okay. How does she normally get to work? Now, I was confused. Does her mom come and
She drives her car.
is that the Honda?
Yeah.
The blue Honda CRV or is an SUV, right?
It's not exactly an SUV, but
Like a hatchback. What's the
smaller.
Yeah, but it's not a car, but it's not like a Tahoe. Or it's like right in between, right? And what hours? Where does she work?
Just whenever. Usually daytime, but
So, did she work on Saturday? Not Saturday, because she was with me Saturday. Oh, so she can work with you when you're working for Whitco. She wasn't supposed to really, but it's our anniversary and I wanted her to ride along. Oh, okay, so just spend time together. Yeah. So she worked with you from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Yeah. And you could have been in your trunk or your top. Now, so what do? Do you drive from y'all's apartments to Whitco? Yeah. And then you get, I guess, a delivery truck, one of the free-day trucks, do your routes and stuff. What did y'all do once you got done working? What, on Saturday? Mm-hmm. Yeah, after you got done working, what you did? Just went back to the house.
What do you guys' judgment on his demeanor at this point?
So I found it interesting that the investigator showed a little bit of legs. He basically said, hey, we're here talking. You understand we know a little bit more than you think. But it made me wonder if he did that to kind of push the subjects back into a box because he was immediately defensive, not angrily so, but almost like if I've seen instances where interrogators do this, just kind of assert dominance, almost like a "don't play with me," and then just kind of carry on with the conversation.
Jason, what do you think?
I think that, sorry, I think the fact that he said, I don't know I had nothing to do with it. And he kept going back to that. I don't know, I wasn't there and I have nothing to do with this. But I personally think that they're exposing that we know more than you know. And we're going to tell you what happened to see his reaction. So I think they're flipping the stage here because if I'm in that guy's spot, he's going to stick to his original story. So I'm going to create the story for you and let him respond to what I know.
What are you picking up, either one of you, on body language or his just physical demeanor?
Very relaxed, very calm. I actually kind of cocky a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. He seems relaxed. The only thing that he did that kind of made me scratch my head was after he was Mirandized, he took a sip of water after he was asked if he was okay to talk. And it's when the interrogators asked him if he understood his rights and knowing his rights if he's okay to talk. To me, that was kind of like he was settling it. He was settling in for what's to come.
I see this emotional cascade is going hard inside this guy. Ears are ringing, and I agree that the way he drank that water, it was like some very good water when he drank it. I don't see him. I see he's putting on a cocky or a relaxed, like I've got nothing to hide type of demeanor. I think sitting in person, you would be able to feel it coming off of him that this guy is just on the edge. But let's see.
So the apartment, yeah, the Dalton. Yeah, you know it. What did y'all do when we got there?
Just hung out and stuff. It was our anniversary. We were just kind of watch movies, be close to each other, stuff like that.
Gotcha. How long did y'all stay there?
All right, one more thing on the tactic that, and I think Jason's referred to the same tactic, is that if I've got someone that's on the edge, I'm going to drive the knife down real hard, but I want them to relax. I want them to think that there's daylight because I want that moment of shock when they realize that they're in deeper than they think they are. So I think that you're going to see a lot of things that they're going to ask him questions of things that he's going to be able to tell them that doesn't incriminate him. He's going to be very forthright with that and easy to talk to. But there's going to be a point where I think the conversation is going to turn. You're going to be able to see this guy take a big swallow, just a gulp, like, oh shit, that he's gone too far. Jason, is that the tactic you were talking about? You're going to drive it home early?
Yeah, and it's kind of common with meth users, to be honest with you. They will only say what they want you to hear. And if you have evidence and facts to actually paint the picture for them and you box them into a corner, they get to a point where they can't get out of.
Yeah, no, all the circuits explode and you get some sort of you get a reaction. There's a no shit, I know what happened moment with that type of interrogation. But with this guy, I think they're feeling there's a lot of emotions going on inside this kid. Of course, he's just a kid and he's dealing with some pretty heavy things. So I'm not surprised to see it. But let's see if that holds up and let's see what his questions are. But I'm telling you guys, everyone look for the point when the questioning turns from questions that this guy can answer without incriminating himself until he gets himself in the first crack. I think you're going to see a physical reaction in the young man. You're going to see a change in his demeanor.
And just really quick, Joe, before you go, one of the things that we would do is, and this is just kind of known about the psychology of younger people, they lack conversational patience and nuance. So because younger people typically have less control over their physiology, not that older people have a maximum control over it, it's easier to push them to emotion if you come at them a little harder and faster.
Yeah, it's not hard to confuse them with puzzle pieces. Yeah, no, I agree. I think we'll see a physical reaction that you may not see out of a guy that's done 15 years in the prison. He's looking at his second turn.
Pretty much the whole day. Okay. Did you ever leave at any point?
No.
Okay. What, so just stayed there pretty much? Didn't go out and get food, Taco Bell, anything like that? No?
Well, I remember really,
If it's
that would have been.
I can't remember what I had yesterday to eat. So yeah, that's fine. So Sunday, what happened Sunday? Did she have to work at Sonic on Sunday?
I think she did.
Okay. You don't know for sure though. What did you do Sunday?
I went over to my brother's on Sunday.
Where does your brother live?
He got a new place recently, so I can't tell you the exact address on it.
How long did you stay? What time did you get to James's and how long did you stay there?
I went over there probably around 7 or 8ish, something like that.
In the morning?
No,
At night time?
yeah,
How long did you stay there?
I stayed there less than that.
Okay. So you weren't with Nadia Sunday night?
Yeah,
Where was Nadia?
she. I mean, I thought she was at the apartment at first, but
So you thought she was at the apartment?
yeah.
Okay. At first, what did you think? What did you?
I mean, I know that she's already told you too that she went and.
He's trying to run through his head. What do they know, and how does he need to answer all these questions they're asking? He's already starting to trip up, in my opinion.
Well, he's not the greatest person. From what Nadia said and from other stuff that we found out.
Yeah.
With that in mind, you know, so you're how old are you?
20.
So when I was 20, my girl goes back around her ex.
Trust me, I'm not.
That ain't cool though. But that ain't cool though, right? So you were thinking she was at the apartment, but obviously she was not at the apartment, right?
Right.
Okay. So, back to your cousin Kevin that we were talking about earlier. You said you bought a gun from him in the past. What kind of gun did you buy?
What kind? Like when?
Well, how many guns have you bought from him?
I'm not trying to get my cousin in trouble, man.
Yeah, we ain't worried about that. This is like a little league. This is a gun, mate. You can actually sell and buy guns. And, I mean, it's, as long as you're not doing it as a business.
Yeah.
No, that's not what we're here for. So what kind of guns did you buy here?
I bought a shotgun from him before, but I was already 18, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Bought, let's see, a pistol from him.
When did you buy it? What kind of pistol?
It was a 20, the smaller.
22?
Yeah.
It was a 22.
Kevin told detectives he sold Justin a .22 caliber Heritage Rough Rider revolver not a couple weeks ago, like Justin is claiming, but literally the day before Kenny was killed.
What kind was it? Does it like have a wheel on it, or does it slide back?
It was a little revolver.
What did it look like?
It was like a revolver on it. No, it was
Like what color was it? Was it black, shining?
black.
Okay. It was like a shiny black or like a dull black like this?
Yeah, shiny.
Okay, like a high gloss finish. What did the handle look like?
It just had a little wood handle.
When did you buy that from?
Probably about a week or a week and a half ago.
Okay. Why did you buy it?
I just bought one in general. It was a dangerous apartment complex, kind of. There's people out there who look like they're on you.
So home protection, self-protection. Okay, that's fine. And you said you bought that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right. Now, then that was it, just a shotgun and 22 revolver.
Yeah.
Did the revolver have a name? Do you remember the name of it?
The what?
The gun, did it have a name on it?
I don't remember it.
You know, name. You just got it for protection, that was it. Where did you keep it at?
I did keep it up on the top shelf.
Where do you keep it at now?
I already resold it.
Who you sold it to?
I sold it to somebody who was like 40 years old.
Just a random person, or did you sell it to somebody you knew?
An old buddy of mine.
I'm not trying to jam them up. Just, who's the buddy? Listen, I know that you bought the gun on Saturday. I know that you didn't stay at your brother's because I talked to James today. I talked to Kevin today. Okay, I'm not trying to listen. I'm not trying to jam you up, but we know more. Okay, you know that we know. We didn't just show up for you for no reason. We didn't just show up for Nadia for no reason. Okay, we're not here to jam you up. I understand that stuff happens. Sometimes good people get put in bad situations by other people. I think Kenny put you in a bad situation, right? I was 20 years old. I know what it's like when a guy comes around your girl. He has no business. Listen. I know what you talked to. We talked to these people. I know the statements that you made to them. Okay? I'm not just making that up. You know that I know that. I know that after something happened at the bridge, that you and Nadia went back and got the cell phone off Kenny. I know these. How would I know this stuff? Unless I talk to the people that you've already talked to. Okay? You make comments to your brother and you make comments to your cousin. Listen, it's your brother. I understand. That's a tight bond. I have a brother myself. But your brother has kids. And you don't want to put his kids in any type of situation, do you? Yeah. So we got to sort this stuff out. Okay? Now, it's very important. Okay? I know you're scared. This is a very nervous situation to be in. Okay? But what you got to realize is we're not here just by chance. We didn't pick you up by random. Right? We know. And the best thing to do is just come clean with it. Because right now, Nadia's going to talk with you. That's fine. Okay.
And well, we got I want a lawyer. Very clear about that. I guess that ends the interview. Give me what's you guys' impression about the GBI investigator there with the hat on, his glasses up, and doing most of the talking. Do you think he's doing a decent job?
I mean, I don't want to step too far out of my experience because I was never law enforcement. I was on the intel side, but it seemed like he closed the door too quick before he was reading the subject. He kept trying to do leaving an open door. We call it, varying degrees of appeals to emotion or loyalty, or something we would say honor up or loyalty up, trying to say, hey, sometimes bad people do, sometimes people are in bad situations. We're not here to jam you up, et cetera, but they just weren't landing with the subject.
Jason, what do you think?
I think he was moving too fast. I would have slowed it down. He was doing good. He was tying in relationships and getting to build up that relationship and trust at the same time, forcing the issue. I would have slowed down a little bit.
I agree. I think he's doing what a lot of interrogators or interviewers do is a huge mistake. He's talking too much. Should have let this young man talk a little bit more. He's going to box himself into a corner, but he has laid down. He's like, basically, I've talked to all what's going on in this community. I've talked to them. He didn't really say who, but this kid is thinking, damn, how many people did I brag to killing this guy about? Or what things that I've said that all these holes in his story that he's trying to figure out a way to navigate it like a landmine in his head, and it's overloading him. But I think he pushed him to an attorney. He unloaded on him a little too quick, and he should have just listened. Any future interrogators out there, the best thing you can do when you go into an interview room is ask a pertinent question and sit back and listen and see where it goes. Even if he takes you down the road somewhere, it's a benefit to you, and it looks good in court when they talk crazy in the interview room. All right, let's finish up and see what happens with his attorney.
I already have the lawyer in mind too. That's fine. Can I make a phone call too? You'll be able to make a phone call back. All right. Go ahead and stand up and put your steps back in. All right. Okay. Finish this water. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's like, yeah, some damn good water. Now, the emotional cascade I talk about, folks, you're going to be able to see it come out here in real time. He's been keeping it behind his forehead, running down the inside of his chest since he's been in this room, especially since he's been in this room. There's no audio of this, but watch him. It's sped up. But he is running through all the gravity of what's going on there, and he realizes how many holes he's got and how screwed he is. And remember, Nadia is in custody as well.
Yeah, another thing that's notable about this is, I think we've covered this in previous episodes. This part we would jokingly call letting the subject cook. They're in a room by themselves. It's silence. They're taunted by their own thoughts.
I'm gonna interrupt you. At the point of the lawyer, he's no longer he's cooking all right, but it's not like they're gonna be able to come back in and resume it and try to pick anything up because he's invoked his attorney. He wants an attorney present, so it's kind of over with. But now our audio's back. Listen to this guy's breathing. Now remember, he's baking like you said, and if he hadn't invoked an attorney, this would be the time to come back in, and maybe a little bit before this, be the time to come back in and let him give up the goose. But let's see what happens with this kid.
You all right? Okay, fine. Slow breath, okay? Slow breath. Breathe. You call the nurse? Yeah, my girlfriend. Just breathe. Breathe. Deep breath. We got to focus on you right now, okay? Just breathe. We can't talk more important. It's more important than I am. Breathe. Breathe. Deep breath. Slow down. Breathe. Fine. I know. Will it help if you sit down? And we don't want you falling out on us, okay?
Okay, while this is going on, Nadia is also being interviewed. There's not a video of it, but we do have the audio we're going to go into. But Jason, how would you sit down with an interview with Nadia having that gas station video and her comment or her statement at the kitchen table?
She kind of took over the conversation at the kitchen table. I picked up on that any question was asked to him, she overtook it. The video is pretty damning. I would go in with what happened. Tell me what happened, and not shoot holes in it. Just let her talk, and then at the end of it, come back and let her tell her story. And at the end of it, come back and say, well, here's what we know. Can you please help me understand where these holes are based upon what you said? And then kind of see where it goes from there. But that's how I would handle it. She likes to talk.
What do you think, Lamar?
Yeah, I agree. This is why when they were all at the kitchen table, I said she's the gift that keeps on giving, because I immediately picked up that she's just super expressive. I don't know if that's part of being a young woman or her previous substance abuse. But yeah, let her. I would just say let her talk, and she'll set her own trap.
What about the gas station video? Would you pull that out in the beginning, or would you hold it back?
I'd hold it back.
Yeah, I would wait until she retells the story about the last time that she saw him, and then once she seems committed to that, that's when I would drop it on her.
Yeah, I think I would get her to the point to restate the last time she saw him. And it's like, okay, here's where we're at. Here's what I know. Maybe, but let's see how she turns out. Now, Doc's predicted that she's going to throw this other kid under the bus. I don't think either one of them are sophisticated enough to deal with what they're dealing with. But on the street, it sounds like a good idea until you're sitting in that hot seat.
I had him in the car with me.
You had
Kenny in the car with me.
So Kenny was in the car with you.
And Justin was in the back seat.
Justin, did he know Justin was in the back seat?
No. Because I just wanted the answers on why he wanted me dead so freaking bad.
So Kenny was under the impression that just you and him were going to be talking. I mean, I'm asking, is that what you're saying? But Justin was in the back seat. Does Justin have a gun in the back seat?
Justin didn't have a gun.
So when you guys go to the river, it calms you down. Did Justin stay hid in the back seat?
Justin stayed in the car.
Without Kenny ever knowing he was in the car? Okay.
Where was he at in the back seat?
He was behind Kenny. And
how did Kenny not know he was in the back seat?
It was dark, and I don't really work in the car. And me and Kenny got out because I just wanted to go in the woods. Justin walked behind me just to make sure I was safe. And Kenny
still without Kenny knowing though.
Kenny actually knew he was there because Justin, like, he could hear Justin in the background. Justin actually had a gun, to be honest.
Now that's what we want. We want you to be honest. Did you know when he was in the backseat of that car that he had a gun? Be honest.
At the moment, no. Like at that moment, I did not know. And then
when did you realize he had a gun? Talking about Justin.
Good place to pause. Give me a scenario, especially Jason. How do you think this went down? Do you think they got together and there was an argument and wasn't planned, or does this sound like a planned, we're going to get rid of this guy and using the girl as bait?
This was a complete setup.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's this complete setup, meditated, him hiding in the back, let's go to the woods and talk this out. She's like, I just wanted to walk in the woods to lure this guy away from the vehicle. He comes out and caps him, I think is the scenario that she's detailing. But it's interesting how she puts herself as, I just want to know why he wanted me dead. And she said that in the initial interview, that he got me on drugs. He was a bad person. I just want to know why he did all these bad things to me. So if I went to ask him and he winds up being dead, then it's pretty much on him because he was a bad guy in the first place. Am I right?
Yeah, I made a note of that when she was talking at the table, that she was extremely victimizing herself. Everything she said, she was a victim.
The victim card these days is a pretty strong card if you can play it.
100%, but you got to be able to see through it too.
True that. Looks like the audience is agreeing that they think it was planned and scripted as well. Let me see if I can get that off. Let's go back and finish up what she's got to say.
Be honest.
Like right when Kenny came attacking me and said he was going to kill me if I didn't come back with him, I punched him in the stomach. And Kenny was like, you're going to fucking regret that. And now I'm going to really fucking murder you. And he had that death stare in his eyes, like everything was blank. And after he got up, like, after his stomach stopped hurting, he got back up and he came after me. It's like, and I'm like, he literally came after me and he had a stick with him.
Who had a stick?
Kenny. He had a stick with and on him and running after me. Justin freaked out and basically defended me.
What do you mean he defended you?
He didn't want me dead, so he basically defended me because I had nothing on me.
So Justin shot Kenny 2 times?
That's what I know. That's all I know, to be honest. Here and here.
Okay, in the stomach and the head. So did he shoot him first in the stomach?
Yeah, so he could go down and drop that stick.
Following their arrest and interrogations, Justin Hooker and Nadia Swartz were both charged with the murder of Kenny Bunn. Despite Nadia's numerous claims during her interview that Kenny had abused her, investigators found no evidence to support these allegations of abuse. Police eventually pieced together what they believed really happened. Nadia was the mastermind who orchestrated the entire plan. Despite breaking up with Kenny months earlier, Nadia continued to string him along, pretending she might want him back. At the same time, she was building a relationship with Justin, effectively playing the two men against each other. Investigators discovered that Nadia had a dark fascination with death and murder, and saw an opportunity to manipulate Justin's feelings for her. Text messages and jail phone calls revealed how Nadia convinced Justin to purchase the gun and join her plan to kill Kenny. In the end, both Justin Hooker and Nadia Swartz pled guilty to murder rather than face trial. The judge handed down 30-year sentences to each of them for their roles in the premeditated murder of Kenny Bunn.
Well, there's our first case. Any final comments on that? Anybody surprised on the panel?
No.
No, the kitchen table kind of set things up for me a little bit, but not at all.
Yeah, that was the 2 things. The kitchen table told me she was speaking too much, and then when there's a tell when you have someone in the booth where they keep saying things, they qualify their language. Just being honest is an indicator that they're actually lying.
It's like, all right. I'm not going to lie, is the predicate to a lie. Go back to the kitchen table. Did anybody pick up on Mom? when she was talking about Kenny and the last time she saw him, did y'all catch any clues coming from mom? And I can go back to that if you want to look at it, if you don't recall it.
I don't recall that, but the only thing I recalled mom was she was very factual, very tense. She seemed like angry, confused. But every question that she was asked, it was just the facts, ma'am, and she gave it to him.
Right. Let's go back and listen to what everybody's saying, but keep your eyes on mom.
I'm not sure.
Well, what do you think we're going to talk to her?
Last night,
Well, I had to go take Michael's, he had a friend over here. I went across the bridge, last night, taking his buddy home.
Mhm.
I assumed there was something going on over there.
Mhm.
Don't know what it is, but I assume that might be what you're over there for.
Yeah.
I just seen that there was a crime scene there because I had to go across the bridge, take him home. I had to come back, but I have no idea what it's about.
Okay. Yeah, it is about the bridge. So it's about Kenny. You know Kenny? How do you know Kenny?
He's my ex,
Okay.
and the relationship wasn't the best.
Mom is gauging
He
daughter's response.
got me on stuff. He kept yelling
Yeah,
at
she
me
knows
about
something's
stuff,
up. That
and
that neck
Meth,
touch
what he got her
is
on.
always a tell.
I'm up and out.
She's off and on.
It's hard to do. That's an accomplishment in itself.
She did it on her own too.
With the help of him. If it wasn't for him, I would have never left.
When was
It's
the last
also
time you
interesting,
and
she will
Kenny
not look
talked?
at her mother right now.
Last time me and him talked was I wanted to ask him something.
But mom won't
And
take
I
her
was
eyes off
sad
when
and
she's
just-
talking.
So I can say, because I want to know why he treated me the way he treated me, because he had a knife to my leg and said if I left, he'll cut it off. Had a knife to my dog's neck and said if she don't stop chewing stuff up, she was going to slit her neck. I want to know why he was so mean to both of us. Got to the point where my dog would hide underneath the bed. I got to the point where there was a couple of times where we had this dog kennel.
Mom is coming to the realization that she has failed as a parent.
The way my mom did Cleo and Gizmo.
Mhm.
There's times where he'll basically.
Yeah, she
lock me
shifted
up in the
from
kennel
trying to
and
be
say, "If you leave,
orchestrated very early
I
on
wanna,
to now
bash your
she's
head in."
arms crossed. She's defensive and anchored.
Almost like someone who's being interrogated. Yes.
Yep.
Is that on Sonya Drive?
Yeah, I went to his so I could ask. I just want to know why he treated me that way.
Okay.
Because it hurts. Like I can't. Those memories are not going to go away. The fear I had and everything that I went through, and I just want to know why and why.
Yeah. Mom's
he
not
didn't
buying
mean
the
it. He
bullshit
was
coming out of the
so
girl.
messed up on it to the point where he wasn't thinking about anybody else. He was thinking about his next fix. That's what all he was thinking about was his next fix.
Was he still using?
I don't know. His mom says he's not, but again, he lies to her all the time, and he got to the point where he's been lying.
I
to me, so
guarantee you there
I
was conversations
really
between
don't
mom and daughter
know.
before this day
How did he get his money
that mom
back?
was not happy with
I
daughter with
worked my
her
butt off.
selection of guys and her drug use. And mom's like, I told you this was coming.
You know, I don't know if mom knew, but mom knows now. Hearing the story of what's going on, because I think this is within 48 hours or 24 hours of the body being discovered. So they may have known Kenny was dead, but now mom realizes that daughter's got something to do with it.
I don't remember why.
There's no doubt. I agree with Lamar. She went from an open stance to relaxed to the guarded stance. But her eyes, she wants to look away from her daughter, but she can't. When there's a pause, she'll dart her eyes away. But when her daughter starts to speak again, her eyes go right back to her. She's sizing the daughter's story up and not believing it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't want to be around you anymore, so I just drove off.
Now, what about you, Justin? You and Kenny, have you talked, or y'all having any issues? We don't really talk. Have y'all had issues?
Not since like Sonic, which was like 2 months ago.
And I think she's one of them moms, but she's the boyfriend's mom too. Both those kids probably live in the same house with her.
Yeah, he went to Sonic, and I still work there. And he was trying to get me to get him back, and he's like, if you don't come back to me, in my books, you're considered a whore.
I told him that he just needed to leave her alone, and he ended up dropping off after that.
Yeah, turned it like whenever he's past Justin, he smiled, flipped him off, and kept driving.
And how old were you, Justin?
20.
20. Okay. So I know when I was 20, somebody would have said something like that to my girlfriend. Did it get a little bit more animated than that? Like,
No,
I know.
Kenny just kept driving off.
So the last time you saw or talked to Kenny was on Saturday, which would have been 14th, I think.
It was
That's the 14th.
Okay. I just want to go back and look at that. Not that that would bring you as an investigator. You wouldn't walk out of that house with anything beside what they told you as far as mom's reaction. But mom's reaction would have solidified it to me that I'm hitting the right spot. Just need to figure out how exactly we're going to get in there and make that happen. Okay, well, let's go to our next. We're going to go to San Angelo, Texas. This is the murder of a young woman being investigated. They give you the prelim on this, and we've got some prelim on the video as well. They find a woman shot in the head, wrapped in some, they call it unique blankets, put in a tub and in a dumpster. Her body's discovered. And as they start the investigation, it's like a ripple. You'll start where the victim is, and you work your way out to the nearest known people, and people will start talking. They get an anonymous phone call that identifies a particular person as that could be the subject, that the suspect who had killed her and dumped her body. So they pull some surveillance, and after enough time, they decide that they're going to make contact with it. And we've got the video where they make contact. They find he's a felon, and they find him in possession of a firearm, which gets a reason to arrest. And so this guy's going into the interrogation room under gun charges. He's not aware that he's a suspect in a murder. So this is going to make this one a little bit interesting.
This is Andres Ramirez. He's just been brought into the San Angelo Police Department interrogation room after being arrested earlier that day. What Andres doesn't know is that he's the primary suspect in the murder of 27-year-old Camille Garcia. 3 days before this interrogation, Camille's body was discovered in a dumpster on the east side of town. She had been wrapped in distinctive blankets, placed inside a blue plastic tub, and had a single gunshot wound to the head. Police had little to go on initially. No witnesses, no clear motive. Then came an anonymous tip suggesting Andres Ramirez might be involved. Rather than bringing him in immediately with such limited evidence, detectives decided to conduct surveillance. Earlier that day, undercover officers followed Andres and observed him making an illegal turn. This gave them the pretext they needed for a traffic stop. During the subsequent search of his vehicle, officers discovered an unregistered 9mm handgun, something Andres, with his prior felony record, was prohibited from possessing. The gun alone was enough to make an arrest, but it also potentially connected him to Camille's murder. However, at this point in the interrogation, Andres has only been told he's being charged with illegal possession of a firearm. The detectives have deliberately withheld any mention of the murder investigation.
I introduced myself earlier as Sergeant Allwine with the Sheriff's Office.
Sergeant Corey Speck.
What's your name?
Andres. Andres? Okay. Nice to meet you, man. Andrew.
Andrew?
Yes,
Okay. Hey, that's my name.
Is that your name?
That is my name.
We're good. No, we're good. Yeah, shut the door, please.
So Andrew, you got stopped today and said that there was a weapon in your vehicle.
Yes, sir. I had admitted when it was
Right on.
asked.
Okay. Before you're in custody, you know that, right?
Yes, sir.
You're under arrest right now. They arrest you for the
No,
driver's license
yes,
right
sir.
now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, but so just because you're under arrest, before I can talk to you and ask you any questions, I got to read your rights, okay? Are you aware of your rights?
Before we get into the rights, so the stage here is this guy doesn't know that they're looking at him for murder. Felon in possession of a firearm. There was good reason to arrest. Only thing you have to tell the guy, you're under arrest. Now these are Texas Sheriff. This is Texas Sheriff's Department, San Marcos, Texas. pretty good sheriff's department there. Now, pay attention to how these guys, and some of you other guys in other states may kind of laugh at them. They seem like Columbo, like they're dumb, but these are some very good investigators here, and what they're doing is top notch. I haven't seen all the verbal on this. And well, you guys, you'll understand what I'm talking about when you get towards the end of this. This is some great stuff that you would not want to be a defendant going to court in, and they get this guy to go through all of it. But pay attention to how smooth these Texas Sheriff's Office or Sheriff's Office investigators work. I just thought I'd throw that in there. You don't want to say anything, Jason, before I start?
It just because they're from Texas doesn't make them great, Joe.
The great state of Texas. That's how the name goes. Where do you think that came from? Here we go.
Rights, ever had them read to you before?
Yes, sir. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'm going to read them to you. As I read them to you, will you please initial next to them once I tell you?
Oh, Burton is corrected. It's San Angelo. San Angelo, also a good SO there, but San Marcos as well. These are good guys.
Initial next to one, and it's only if you understand the right, okay?
All right, and what are we exactly on?
This is your rights, okay?
All right.
You have the right to have a lawyer present to advise you prior to any counseling. If you understand that, will you initial next to one?
Give me a minute.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what do you want to speak with me about when we were out there on the scene? Said you wanted to speak with who was in charge. Well, that's Sergeant Speck and
Yeah, man, I was, kind of weird how these numbers, they say the numbers don't lie, right?
Sometimes.
What else don't lie?
I don't know.
Say realize. Realize, realize, realize.
Okay. Realize.
Did you catch that?
No, I did not. You're going to have to explain that to me.
Realize.
Realize?
Realize. Realize.
Mm-hmm.
Realize.
Realize, okay. So tell me what you're getting at, man.
So they say the numbers don't lie, or do they?
And you're talking on another level that I don't understand right now.
Exactly. So let's just say how everything works.
Yeah, I don't like this guy at all.
Okay. Which one? The suspect?
The suspect. I
think he's going through the word salad thing. He's trying to figure out his best move here, and this is his best conversation I think he can muster under the circumstances. I'm going to give these investigators some credit. They're playing right along with him, and I think they're doing a pretty good job with it instead of cutting him off. Once again, the worst thing I think you can do in an interrogation is cut the guy off, or your target. Let them speak. They're gonna help you plan out your next move. But he's asking what kind of time does he think he's looking for a gun charge in Texas? Depending on, he's looking at 2 to 5 at least. It's definitely gonna have some law in his life.
Yeah, my point. Sorry about the outburst. My point was, so we would call this feigned intellectualism. It's where the subject wants you to believe that they're smarter and more articulate or whatever than they actually are. So they do these things. We like playing cute by a half with language, but they look so stupid under stress, but they don't see it.
You know what? I would concur to that. We don't have as fancy words in law enforcement as you guys do in the intel service, but like words and bullshit is what it is.
Lamar, I liked your first spontaneous utterance there of idiot. That made more sense to me.
But as an interrogator, idiot is not what you want to tell your subject at this point. I don't.
I like Lamar's comment there. That actually, I agreed with him.
But this is something you would say silent in the interview room. Is my point. Let's see how they handle this.
Man, I've been in and out of things. I can't say like too much of what, but it seems like I guess maybe my county, my city is calling me in some which way, and even more than that, it's like I've been through some things, man, and I've seen some things that you probably wouldn't even cope to, or
I don't know if I'm doing this well.
by not living it, though, is what I'm saying.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So like it's a lot different, man, and how it works, you know, and like just put it like this, man, like some of the things, like, man, the shit is serious. It's, you know what I mean? And, you know, I don't know how to explain it, man, but yeah, it's just like kind of the way things happen and shit, you know what I mean? The way I seen it, you know. And they say the root of all evil is money, but yet you come back to it and you look at the money, you know, it says in God they trust, you know what I mean? So at the same time, I've never lost my faith in a lot of things that happen. And if I was to be able to tell you and break it down, like,
Oh my God.
you know, sometimes they say, you know, you ever heard that it's an ongoing joke, you know, it's an open joke with somebody you bullshit around with or somebody, but if I tell you I gotta kill you or something like that, right? You've heard that before? All right, well, say something like that. It feels like that, but not that serious, to pertain to like somebody who knows a lot, you know, it's intelligent. Let's just put it that way. Like, it's crazy, man.
So what I heard is there's some things in your past, and maybe even in your recent past, about having to do some things.
And that is?
I'm not sure. Why don't we start off with the traffic stop? Why don't we start there? Okay? You said you know what it's all about, and you wanted to speak to the person in charge.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are.
So
we're basically here for you, buddy. We want to know what you wanted to speak about.
What is there that y'all have, I guess, in line of what I would say is in my life? My life has always been controlled, it seems, by the state, man. You wouldn't even understand. This guy probably wouldn't understand unless he was one of them. Dudley, is that you? Yeah, they've been getting pretty good with Hollywood down here too. Or unless look at this guy. Y'all wouldn't happen to have some water or something?
Absolutely.
I'll get some water. I'll bet you, sir.
We can get you some water.
Yeah, I bet you need some water. My
So
mouth's
where are you heading to when they stopped you?
I was headed to the store.
The store?
Yes, sir.
What's up at the store? You need something to drink, something to eat? What?
I'm going to come back again, folks. Pay attention to the guy and try to figure out if you can see the emotional cascade, the waterfall of emotions that's happening inside, because it's a raging river in this guy, just like it was in the other. But if you watch close enough, you'll see that poke out every now and then in his times of uncomfortableness, because he's doing everything he can to keep it together. And if you guys want to comment on that, if you agree or disagree with me, but that's what I say, that this guy is on the inside, he's on fire.
Yeah, I agree with you. And one of the signs, like I said this before, your physiology will betray you. So that need for water is a byproduct. He's nervous and he's getting cotton mouth. And the more he tries to talk and dance around, the more he's breaking down before us.
No, I agree. And a lot of times that leads into them saying weird things, and the word salad, and what they think in their mind sounded good, when it comes out of their mouth, they sound ridiculous. And I like the point when they get tangled up in it and they just have to give it up or get an attorney, one of the two.
Did you guys pick up on, he was questioning them when he was talking to them, he was actually trying to question them on what do you know, or you know, I'm not sure, it was kind of subtle, but I picked up on.
He almost asked, what evidence do you have against me?
Yeah.
No, I picked up on that.
Okay.
Yeah, and he realized how bad that sounded about halfway through, and he tried to change it up, and just ended up going into word salad again. B's asking, was Camille his girlfriend? There was a sexual relationship. I don't know if it would be classified as a traditional boyfriend-girlfriend, and you'll see how he explains it at the end.
I was gonna grab a pack of cigarettes, man, and give my brother some change and shit, man. Just, you know what I mean? Putting up with his bullshit, man. You wouldn't even understand, man. He's kind of, you know what I mean, a little lost there, man. But shit, I ain't never forget. You know what I mean? I love him. I love him to death, man. It's crazy.
Okay. What about the gun? Why do you have that gun with you?
Make a long story short, it was given to me as a gift, you know, and I mean, I've had it, you know. I've never took anything with it, or you know, I never planned on it, you know, ever using it or anything like that. But I've kept it home, you know, like with me for some. And I knew from the beginning, like, you know, and it was like, man, I had it and it was given to me, and like I didn't want to give it to anybody like that. And the person that had given it to, or had given it to me, you know, for some reason there was something, you know, that I had it, man. And I mean, shit, I appreciate it. I've had it, and how would I say? I've always bullshitted around, man, about home security. You know what I mean? So you keep, you know what I mean? You keep, you know, and it's never been like that anybody's ever been a threat or anything like that, man. But it seems like the closer that things come, man, and I take back and I push forward and I think and like trying to with people and like what light and all that shit, man. It's like, damn, man, it'll blow your mind, you know what I mean? But at the same time, man, I've kept, you know what I mean? I've kept saying, you know what I mean? I've thought right, you know. I've never just, you know, at any time, man. And sometimes, you know what I mean? Insanity come in and I push myself, man. You know what I mean? And like I said, I've seen some shit that, you know.
I'm sorry, but I'm on mute laughing my ass off.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable sometimes, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what I mean?
People think and believe and shit, man. And I can break it down to you like what. Be like, like, you know. I mean, think about it. Alphabet. Tony, how many letters?
26.
24.
I think it's 26, isn't it?
Oh, Greek? What's the last letter in the alphabet? Actual, like, I mean, it depends on how you take it, English, you know what I mean? So
let's focus back on today.
Right.
You're going a little far out there for me.
No, that was
on the alphabet. I'm not even sure how many letters are really there.
Exactly. It's like all in the naming and shit, man. It's just like what people have added to it and shit. Like you don't see it, how, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's serious, bro. It's like, you know,
Well, now we're laughing at him. What clues are we getting from the way he's talking?
He's a fucking idiot.
Right. Is there anything else?
He's extremely uncomfortable. He's dancing around. He doesn't have a coherent thought. And I've been waiting for one of the Gators to reel him back into, like, let's come back down to earth, buddy, and have a real conversation.
I think I would do exactly what they're doing. I would let him unravel because that's what he's doing. He's burning off energy. He's afraid to be quiet. He's afraid to really let them talk too much. He's trying to talk around them, but he's just saying nonsense. I would let that play out until he gets to the point of exhaustion, because what he's done in his own mind, he looks back at if you're trying to deceive, you've got to lay tracks, and you got to review those tracks to decide how you lay down the next story, because you don't want to be, they can't contradict each other, because this is high stakes poker you're playing here. And he's losing it. In his mind, it sounds good. Coming out of his mouth, it sounds ridiculous, but I would let him play this out almost to the point where he realizes, when he realizes how dumb he sounds, I think we'll get to some, in my opinion, as an interrogator, I would think we would start getting through the bullshit and getting down to some real things. But would you cut him off at this point, Jason?
No, not at all. If he's a suspect in a murder and he thinks he's in there on a gun charge, he's trying to protect himself from that murder and just take the gun charge. So I would let him ramble and ramble and ramble. And I give these two guys credit. I would be biting at the seam to say, shut the fuck up, dude. But no, I agree. Let him ramble, because right now he's just going to say, I'm going to take the gun charge. I hope they don't know that I killed somebody a day ago, but I'll take the gun charge. So I'd let him keep talking.
In fact, this is what I dinged the Georgia Bureau of Investigation investigator on, is he didn't let that other suspect do this. Let them run for a bit. It's like putting a horse in a new pasture, let him run around the fence a bit until he gets tired, then you deal with him. But I think they have to burn that off, that energy off, because he knows what he's done. Well, allegedly. We don't know yet. Burton says he may not be smart. I say, and Lamar, you would probably know this because you're like a super intellectual guy. I don't think he's in control of what's coming out of his mouth. I think in his mind, go back to that emotional cascade. I think that all that waterfall ringing in the ears, and they'll get to the point where they even see spots or hyperventilate like the kid did in the previous video. I don't think they're in control. I don't think it's a matter of intelligence. I think we're looking at a natural response to the stress that they're under.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's completely fake. I think it's funny how much he's going out of his way to try to impress them with what he thinks is intellectual.
Well, yeah. Let's go back and hear more of the scholar.
Fuck, man. It's crazy.
Seem a little nervous today, man. Just a little bit. You're a little high strung.
I mean, nervous, yeah, I guess it would all intake how you could take control of, I guess, the scene, or, you know what I mean? I guess you would say vibe, man, you know?
Well, I'm getting that vibe from you that you got
You
some anxiety going on.
You see what I mean? But like anxiety, as far as anxiety, what is your definition of an anxiety?
Of anxiety?
How-
What's your definition of anxiety?
I mean, that's what we would all go all the way down to, like what you've learned and what you know what I mean? Is it like wrong? Is it right? You know what I mean? Like, you know, I've come down to all that shit, man. You know what I mean? And it's crazy, like, you know what I mean? So I just like live my life the way I live it. You know what I mean? And I can't say like, and I ain't trying to take away from it or add to it, like, you know what I mean? And it's the truth, man. You know what I mean? So you gotta stop bullshitting with me and go ahead.
I'm not bullshitting with you, brother. There ain't no bullshit here.
All right.
You said
There's no bullshit with me either.
Right
So
on. You said you want to talk, man. I'm here to listen. I'm hoping that we can get to the reason you wanted to talk.
yeah, man. So I guess some of this bullshit or whatever I happen to be put into or got brought my way.
What kind of bullshit? What was brought your way?
Everything.
Like?
My life.
Okay.
I mean, come on now, man. Just from the beginning, like you know what I mean? It seems like, you know, like been watched like fucking constantly, man. Like, you know what I mean? And it seems like I know this shit from the beginning, you know what I mean? And I just go about my business and fucking, man, it's crazy. Shit. And I mean, evidently, right? You see what I mean?
We gotta have a little more than that, man. You gotta have a little more recent time frame as far as what you wanted to speak about rather than your whole life and being watched. You want to talk about something, I want to talk too.
So let's say whatever you got going, or I don't know, evidently you know something, because of what I've seen, like, you know, this didn't happen like that. It's no regular traffic stop. One.
Okay. Now you're making sense.
Right. I see.
So let's keep making sense.
I see. I can read. I see all, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I know the difference between.
Well, tell me why you think we're here like this, and why you think the traffic stop went down like that.
I think maybe y'all have something to do with something that happened, as in maybe even somebody being killed.
I'd say you're probably right on track. I'd say that's the most intelligent thing you've said since we walked in. You were right on.
You could have been, you know what I mean, that from the beginning, like, you know what I mean? You had to even cause your scene and all like this. Yeah, I don't, you know.
Are you familiar with what we're trying to look into?
Yeah, possibly very familiar, or at some type of
Let's talk about
vision,
it.
yeah.
Let's get it out there. Tell me about your vision. Tell me about what you think we're here for, why you think we need to talk about it.
I think maybe y'all are trying to investigate something that happened to somebody, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And some way, somewhere, somehow, I guess maybe I have a tie to her, or is in, you know what I mean? So,
who's that somebody? What's her name to you? She goes by many different names.
Man, I've known her, I guess C-Doll, that's,
C-Doll?
Yes.
C-Doll, Cash, Cammy, something like that.
That's the thing though, man. I've never, you know what I mean? There's a, you know what I mean? I guess a dude that she's with or something, you know, supposed to be that, you know. I don't know, man. She's with everybody, it seems like, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, right down the road is one of the main parts where she comes from where I stay. My brother, right down the street from right there, man. The corner, you can't miss it, you know. They're always right there.
Yeah, I picked up on that, Burton. Good call.
That's from where I know her from, where I seen her walk to, and things like that. So,
What do you think happened to Cammy? What do you want to tell me about it?
as far as
I can see and hear things that in your speech that you want to talk about it.
Right. I mean, as far as I know, man, I don't know, you know what I mean, anything about the girl or anything like that. But let's just say that from what I know of her, like, it's never been like something normal or anything like that. Like, I don't know how to put it to you, or I don't know how to explain to you. Like, but the times that she's come around, like, you know.
Okay. I think they've let the horse run around the corral. He's starting to come around the fence, and they're getting close to trying to put a bridle on him. But it looks like he's walking with them. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, now.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can call this the great state of investigators, because this guy is the dumbest person I've ever seen in an interrogation.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's see how it turns out. Let's see how it turns out.
Know how I met her. I don't even like really know her. You know what I mean? She's my brother's friends. You know what I mean? Two of my brothers. That's her friends or whatever, right? But anyway, so when I come into the house and whenever I moved up in there, the girls come in there and you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not them, man. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, you know, and I might have a girl, you know what I mean, come by or something like, who's this girl? And I'm like, shit, man, I don't know her. You know what I mean? She, oh, you got her. And look, man,
Well, it's almost like having a conversation with himself. He's not even giving you nothing to tell your story.
As far as I've known her, man, like, I've not known her for very long. Like, a couple of times I've run into her and things like that, you know. And she seems like she comes all over the neighborhood, you know, down right there, walk, you know, across the street, you know, over here, like, you know, and the shit I see there. They don't really have one.
No?
No, sir. I can't say that I ain't ever, you know, had sexual intercourse with her, like, you know what I mean, and things like that, but yeah, shit.
When's the last time?
Fuck, I don't know, about a long time ago.
Really? Because you just told me you hadn't known her that long.
That's what I'm saying, like, I haven't known her, you know, weeks, you know.
So when did you last have sex with her?
Shit. I would say
Stumbling.
months ago, probably 2 months ago, maybe. Give or take, something like that, maybe 5. And I would probably say, yeah. What'd she say? 3. Yeah, it's about 2 months, I would say.
Would you say she's a pretty girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was but I don't know.
She's pretty. I mean, I've seen her.
She's a good-looking girl. It's okay. We're all guys here. It's okay. So, you know, she's a good-looking girl. You were attracted to her. That's fine.
Yeah, and some of the times that I've seen her is not too.
She looked pretty attractive there.
Oh yeah. Sometimes.
She's not an ugly woman. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
She's not ugly at all.
Man. Shit.
Okay, we got a tactic. First time they pulled out the victim's photograph. Did you guys notice a reaction there?
I did. I think he's increasingly lazy in his posture, which is a signal to me that he's getting exhausted, like you were saying, Joe. Let him out, run around, let him wear himself out, and I think that I would say that was pretty good timing. See that he's weakened from the starting point, physically and emotionally, now, you know, shove some evidence in his face or the victim's picture in his face.
No, I agree. I guess they got lucky in Texas. They're not that bright, but it looks like he's pulling this one off right. What do you think, Jason?
No, I agree with Lamar. I think that was a good timing.
I'm sure it was just luck. No skill involved in that, but let's finish it up.
I just gave him credit, Joe.
Yeah, but not before you degraded the great state of Texas and its sheriff's office.
This is okay.
Throughout.
All right, finish it out. Shut up.
Here we go.
And so what's up? What's the question on her?
Yeah, and you know the questions on her. We want to know your relationship with her. We want to know how long you've known her. You want to start there? We've kind of gone over it just a little bit. I'd like to rehash it with you. How long you've known Cammie?
I haven't known her that long, or at least.
One more point. This is the first time the investigators made it clear we're not here about your stolen gun or just because you said you wanted to talk to us on the roadside. It was a pretexted stop, and we want to know about her. He takes him a large drink of water so he can get prepared to go to this next route that in his mind he's been preparing for. I don't know how well he's got himself prepared for it, but in his mind he's been prepared for this conversation. But the water is not only humane to provide someone water if they ask for it in this type of situation, but how they consume the water and when they consume the water, it's almost like giving themselves a mental break. They don't have to talk while they're drinking, and that water, I'm sure, tastes extremely refreshing at the time.
As in, like, talking to her, that doesn't, I can't, how to say, brief who she is or anything like that. I can't really do.
Yeah, man, I'm not asking for a psychological analysis.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to get, I wish I could give you all that, like, you know what I mean?
Man, I don't need that. All I need is how long have you known her? You give me a time frame about how long first time you spoke to her till now.
2 months, man.
About 2 months?
I would say about 2 months, 3 months, maybe.
Okay. When's the first time y'all became sexually involved?
Never, like, really, man. That's what I'm saying. Like,
you told me y'all
yeah,
did,
but that was like, they're not the one, like, you know what I mean? Or like, maybe she was just in it for wrong reason, and that was the reason we should come around and shit, man. And I don't buy that shit. Like, you know what I mean? I'm on my business and shit, and the way things work, like, come on now.
Y'all smash or not?
I mean, yeah, but it wasn't like nothing like that. Like, you wouldn't think, you know what I mean? Come on, man.
Come on, you're a dude.
You either do it or you don't.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But so.
But there's nothing to it. I mean, but you did it. You did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When's the last time?
So just really quick here, Joe, one of the things I just noted, this is where I give these guys a lot of credit.
Okay.
He met the subject where he was linguistically. So the guy's been trying to do this kind of street, articulate, I'm an intellectual, smart guy, see through the system thing. And then the gator basically asked him straight up, did you smash or not? When they haven't necessarily been using that language throughout the entire session. And I thought that was pretty smooth.
No, I agree. And I may be seeing things different because I've worked down in Texas and I've worked at a sheriff's office. But some of the finest interrogators I've ever seen are these, like you're talking to your preacher, smooth talking guys that are good at listening, but they know when to stab it in the heart. Jason, do you want to say anything? You were the one who besmirched the reputation of these investigators.
No, I did. This is, and in all honesty, I think these guys went in there with the right demeanor, the right amount of experience, the right amount of information to let this thing go the way it did. And when you compare this to the last interrogation we saw, this is what I mean with let them tell their story. And these two guys did a fantastic job because this personality, not this person, but this personality in front of them wanted to throw up on himself from the minute he sat in that chair. And they picked up on that and they just let him run with it. 100%.
Hey, I want to do a programming note. Rob and Peter, for whatever reason, you're coming in on the top of the stack of the text chat. And my apologies. I'm just now seeing some of these things that you guys have put up. For some reason, X does that, whereas YouTube doesn't do it so well, but I'll keep more of an eye here for your comments. I apologize for ignoring you. It wasn't intentional.
Where'd that happen at?
Where did that happen at?
Mm-hmm.
It happened at my house.
See, what we're trying to do is, you know,
I know what you're trying to do.
We're trying to put together Cammie's history.
Okay.
Everybody that's been involved with her,
And
we're trying to talk.
okay, so pretty much like what the hell and you know what I mean, goes that, you know what I mean? It's already way beyond fucking blown up into, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they've already come from the beginning. So why don't we just go ahead and get down to like all that shit and like really like what's going on and shit like that.
Well, you know we found Cammie dead.
Okay. And where is this and what and like tell me.
So we're tracking down everybody that's ever been involved with her.
And it seems like I must be the first one or somebody or.
It's been a long day. You're not the first one.
Oh no. All right. That's good. That's not better.
So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to hash out everybody she's been around.
All right.
So let's talk.
Okay, I think that's a tell there. He says, I must be the first one. What he's really asking for, am I the only one you're looking at? This guy's still trying to play, in my mind, he's still trying to play with what the investigators know, and does he have any daylight to get out of this room? Did any of you, either you two pick up on that or anybody from the audience pick up on that as far as him asking, basically tell me what you know is what he's asking the investigator?
It was the same in the one before this. They're trying to look for a way out, and am I the only one? It was the same thing talking to the guy in the last one. He's trying to get information on what they know, and that question was exactly what you just said.
Yep, I agree, 100%. I think the subject's getting frustrated, and one of the keys to me was he basically said, "Let's stop the runaround and get down to real talk," but in his own unique way of saying it.
Correct. And I think the investigators are playing this right, whereas I don't think, and once again, I'm not throwing shade on the Georgia Bureau of Investigations investigator. I think that if they had just held his cool and not laid out maybe how many cards I've got against you or what I know necessarily, or putting the bluff out that I know more than you think I do. And I will say I'm even more inclined to do that with a lesser sophisticated subject like this kid. I might as like, look, man, I already know pretty much everything, so give it up. I might have pushed him like that Georgia investigator did, just because of his lack of sophistication. But I'm going to give them something on this. They're dancing with this guy correctly, and they're pushing just the right buttons when he sends the correct clue, in my opinion.
Talk about her. You say y'all had sex at your house about a month ago. So when's the last time she was at your house?
She was at my house about, I say, over a week ago.
Over a week
ago.
What was she doing there?
Coming to get high.
Coming to get high?
Yeah, man.
Y'all get high?
I mean, I was getting high and shit, but you know what I mean? It's not like you come over here just to smoke my shit, man. You know, tear your ass like you always do. Like, that's all it is. Come and go, you know.
Mm-hmm. Did y'all have sex then?
Nah.
No?
No, sir.
Did you get her high?
I might have gave her some. I might have, you know what I mean? I think I might have gave her some dope or something that she would have wanted, but shit, just when she come in there and like, you know what I mean? That's all like, shit, you know? But then you start doing your ways or whatever, start trying to run me and shit. Hell nah, you know what I mean? Be on your way, shit. That's exactly what it is.
Did she leave anything at your house while she was there?
Nah, she really took shit.
She never.
Okay, there's another one that we've talked about before. Jason, why is he asking that question? We've established that the victim's been to this guy's house. Did she leave anything there?
Because they have something and a time frame.
It also helps if they run a search warrant. They can start verifying what he's saying is truthful or not truthful by that. But I think this is another piece of concrete that these investigators are dropping in there. Once again, I'm impressed with the way they're handling this. And by the way, I've seen some of this interview, but just for the purpose of editing, I haven't listened to the dialogue going back and forth. There's some parts in here in the end that you're going to see that obviously even fast forwarding, you can see something out of the ordinary is happening. But so I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of the back and forth at the same time as you guys. I didn't pre-plan this, but once again, I'm kind of impressed with these investigators on their timing and the way they're handling each clue and indicator as it pops up. And this guy's textbook, in my opinion, on what he's doing.
Joe, real quick, I'm guessing that the search warrant was already served. That's why the question was asked.
No.
No? Okay.
No. All they had was a the investigator's not lying. They find the body. They've been talking, like I say, ripples. They've been checking the people the closest to her and talking. Someone makes an anonymous call to the sheriff's office and says that this guy killed that girl. That's pretty much all they had. So they put surveillance on him. They got probable cause for a stop, which I would imagine was, to ID him to see if they had any reason they could take him into custody. It looked like a consensual search. Finds a handgun. He's a felon. So if that puts him into custody, they had this. We are not down the road to where they've had enough to even write a search warrant.
All right, got it. So they're just trapping him in a story.
All right, what you tell me now, and if I find out different later, then I can at least. I may not know if you tell them the truth, or I don't know if the rest of your story is true, but I can tell you this part's a lie.
Took shit.
She always took shit.
What'd she take?
Just little things. You never know. I guess I had so much shit, or so many different things, just little things and shit.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just get my bearings on this whole thing. I've got to wrap my head around it.
I mean, dude, if you need some fucking help, dude, go ahead and deputize my ass or something already, man, because this is a bunch of bullshit, dude. You don't even think I'm fucking, that doesn't bother me, and a bunch of other shit, dude. I don't know, and a lot of things that I don't see, and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know in between, let's say the time you wake up on Tuesday morning, to about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, where you were. You say you give me 2 different places so far.
That's where I've been. I've either been, like, you know what I mean?
How'd you get to those 2 places?
In the car.
The car that you got stopped in today?
Yeah.
And you drove?
Yeah.
So you've had that car with you the whole time?
Since when?
I'm asking yesterday, did you have that car with you the whole time?
Yes, I believe I did.
Once again, another piece of concrete that this investigator is pulling out of him. Did you have that car? They know the time frame the body would have had been dumped. More than likely, someone didn't walk there to do that. So it's another location that he's getting actually enough probable cause with his statements that he was driving the car at the time the body was dumped for another search warrant. So once again, I think these guys are playing it very well.
I want to say I did. No.
No,
I didn't. You're right.
I'm not right or wrong. I'm
You're
not
right.
saying you did.
You know what? You know what? Now that you take me all the way back to it, you're right. No.
Well, let's
I
walk
didn't
back.
have it all.
Let's walk back through that day then and find out where all you and your car were.
Yeah.
Damn, she was a pretty girl.
All right. Why do you think he walked back? Oh no. Well, now that I thought about it, I didn't have my car yesterday.
He knows he's stuck.
He realized that he walked into that trap and got his ankle stuck in it, and now he's trying to chew his leg off.
Yeah, they're asking very specific questions for probable cause for a search warrant on the car. They're asking very specific questions to move forward with this case. And the fact he walked it back, I think he just realized, oh shit.
Yeah, he realized that he was in that trap, but it was too late. Walking it back doesn't look good. And remember, folks, this interrogation video, they'll show this in court. It's all admissible in court. So as a jury watching this, I wouldn't want to be on the defendant's side having to walk back something as simple as, did I have my car yesterday?
Yeah, I guess, you know what I mean? I can't really.
Well, you can say she's a pretty girl. That's fine.
Burton says it
I don't think so.
very well.
Yeah,
It's put in it.
Think,
She had beautiful eyes. You don't think so?
Connie's been good. I don't know. These guys like, that's crazy.
Kind of looks like what?
It might cut.
Yeah. That don't look like she'd old you?
Yeah, it does, but I'm saying that looks like my cousin too.
All right, man.
Because I can show you a picture, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, look, this is what I was telling you about. And you can kind of resemble it. Yeah. You can see it resemble it. It's crazy.
All right.
Yeah, let's go print that out real quick.
I'll take him outside and let him smoke real quick.
Okay. I'll print that deal out and then we'll hit the road. Sound good, man?
I'm gonna have to put handcuffs on you.
Can you put them on in the
Sure.
Okay, is the smoke break just to give this guy a bit of a break, or is there a tactical reason to do this?
They're writing search warrants.
Yes, but I think there's also a break with the cigarette break. I think it's tactical, and I think they're doing it at the right time. This guy's getting somewhat easy. He's already laid himself a trail that's going to be difficult to cover, and I think the subject's starting to realize that. So I think the smoke break is going to be pivotal in this.
I honestly, I've been in this thing before. They just put him in handcuffs, sit him down. I get that side to it, but I think the questions they were asking right now gave him probable cause to search certain areas. They have probable cause to keep him in custody, and that was my thinking on this. Is they got PC to hold him right now.
Well, they've got PC on the gun charge. He's not. They can put him in jail on that. That's a done deal. So his custody, I don't think as much as their concern is furthering the investigation. But I will say something about a smoke break, guys. You can't smoke inside of a building. You take somebody out, even in handcuffs. As men, you can stand shoulder to shoulder, side by side. You can have a conversation that they may not know is admissible or even recorded. So I think there's a lot of strategy to letting someone, once they reach a certain point in their conversation, I think they're at the perfect point to do this, is to take them outside, relieve the situation, give them a little bit of a breath of fresh air, and see what they say when they're slightly more relaxed.
Yeah, that was my thought, Joe. There was two things that jumped out to me. It's understanding that smoking is a social activity that lends to conversation. And then the second thing is, I think he failed the empathy test when he basically baited him back in to take another look at the victim. He did the hand wipe over his face and then tried to play it off to make it sound like that the victim looked like a family member. I think he said his cousin or something like that. But I would say he failed that.
100%. 100%. I think the first was the most telling. I think the second was a prepared answer by the subject. I think the first one was the surprise when he pondered and looked at that picture for a bit. But once again, none of that's going to do anything for you in court. These investigators are looking for probable cause, things they can articulate, things they can further the investigation, whether it be through search warrants. And Jason, they may have enough. I would say they don't have enough just by his interview that the subject might have been there at some point in the recent past. And he says he didn't have his car necessarily. Unless you have something else, I don't know that they have PC to start hanging paper just yet.
And that's something we don't know with what they had walking in there. That's why I'm saying they might have something, and his statements led to probable cause. And that's why I said what I said.
Which statement was probable cause?
I'm saying they might have had information or facts that led up to, and all of a sudden his statement confirmed probable cause, which would lead them to say, okay, we're good to go now. He said this. Let's search the truck. Let's search the apartment. It's a lot of unknowns that I don't know what. There's stuff going on in the background.
Yeah, and they could have more than what I'm saying. I'm saying from what I know, I don't think they got enough in that interview for probable cause for a search warrant. Not yet.
I agree with that. I'm just saying we don't know what they have.
I think the smoke break is a tactical deal. Who was it? B said, I always wondered, what did she say? I always wondered why people get smoke breaks. That's interesting. Everything from when you bring in water in a good interrogation is staged. The only person that is the unwitting in the performance is the subject. That's a good interrogation. And I think that he looked at his partner, and I can roll it back. he looked at his partner. His partner knew exactly what was about to happen going to do the smoke break. So I think this is so either somebody's quarterbacking it from the viewer room, or these guys have worked together long enough that they knew what was about to happen. But let's see what happens on the smoke break.
Good. It is about 18:35. I'm handing this over to Deputy Rubel. He's going to take Mr. Ramirez to go smoke real quick.
Well, is it usual for have your smoke break be recorded and you're taking a third party that the subject doesn't know, that thinks is going to be just a lowly detention officer or jailer that's going to just escort this guy out for the sole purpose of smoking a cigarette? Jason, Kumar? No?
I've never done that, but it might be a good tactic.
It's a good tactic. Let's see how it works. So what's happening, folks, is that the investigators that you saw in the room, they've taken the subject out. He's taken a hand recorder, and he's time stamping it so that he'll do that at the beginning and do that at the end so that he can say, hey, I did this at this time. And he's also telling who's going to be on the recording. But the sole purpose of the smoke break was to hand him off to a third uninterested party, the Columbo method, this guy out with a cigarette, and see if some of this nervousness and this talking that he's doing breaks into something that's going to move them further down the road. Let's see. Burton says they don't typically record his smoke breaks. Well, Burton, that's because they haven't told you. They probably are.
Thanks. Just have a seat on that bench for me. Yeah, man, today's been a weird day. That's sure. Here, tuck this one behind your ear.
So, what goes on as far as this investigation?
Well, you know by now we're trying to see if you're involved in it.
All right.
Yeah. So that's what we're trying to determine right now is, what level of involvement. We appreciate your cooperation. That gives us a good hint, that you're willing to help yourself out, willing to talk about it. We hope that it keeps going that way. What do you think about it?
Shoot, I mean, yeah, there's a lot more than I know. Like I said, man, like if I was to sit down and then fucking explain it all to you, bro, it'd probably like blow your mind, and you'd be like, "What the fuck? Like seriously?" Like, I'll be like, "Yeah, dude." And it's like, it wasn't, you know what I mean? It's like the shit that's been after me, and like it comes down to the fucking money and everything, bro. It's crazy. It's fucking.
Well, you know what? I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it without.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's dude, and then it's like, you know what I mean? Like how it gets you involved and all that shit is it's. I mean, they say the numbers don't lie, right?
They don't.
But my ID.
See anything bad with Cammy? Yeah. What'd you see bad with her?
Evil, bro.
Evil? What kind of evil she has going on?
She tried killing me.
She tried killing you? Why'd she try killing you?
I don't know, but it was after.
How long ago was this?
Wow.
A while ago? Did you have anything to do with Cammy's murder?
No, sir, not necessarily.
Not necessarily?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, shit. Look,
come on, man. That's what we're trying to get down to.
You would think? What you think? I mean, come on now, man. Think about it, man.
I can't think about it. I'm not in your shoes, brother.
Exactly. Y'all got me under it. And it seems like, you know what I mean? I want to get down to it too, man. Like, y'all wouldn't even know what the fuck like is going on and like all that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'll tell you right now, Cammy didn't wish for it.
Nah.
She didn't wish for what didn't happen to her.
You never wish for that.
No.
All right, we're back from the break. You heard what's on the audio. He did. He's looking for a way to tell his story, but I think he outed himself on the cigarette break. What do you think about that one, Jason?
great tactic. Yeah, I agree with you. He wants to talk about it, but interesting.
He
Yeah,
hasn't.
not
I don't think he's figured out in
necessarily
his mind how to
pretty well
frame it up yet. I'm sorry, I'm stepping on you, Lamar. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say, not necessarily the pretty wild response.
I think it's the non-committal, but I just don't know how to tell you. And of course, Burton says smokers relax and talk. I don't discount that, but I think the fact that you remove them from the environment, you put them in like it's kind of like an off-the-record interview. When you're inside there, they know they're on the record. I think a lot of them get at ease when you take them from that environment. You're doing like, we're taking a break now, so what we say here is no big deal. It's not going to come up and play later. Inmates, a lot of times when they're being booked in or they're being escorted by detention officers or jailers, they will say a lot of things to them. You'll see a lot of detention officers and jailers being subpoenaed to court by statements that inmates will say to them because they think it's of no consequence. For those of you that may find yourself in this predicament, if the wall's got an ear, it's of consequence. Everything that you say there can and will be used against you in a court of law unless you're speaking to your attorney. You should keep that in mind. Best way is to keep yourself out of this seat. That seat he's sitting in is the hottest seat in the world, I promise you. And hey, another thing I like is I like their table that builds into the corner there, right? They get you up nice and close and personal to who you're going to be talking to. Let's see how this ends up.
Start again. You good on your water? You want some more?
All right, man. You know we're gonna try to. You and I talked about it when we were outside. I mean, you got the drift. We're trying to find out if you have any involvement in the way she ended up.
Right.
Us finding her like we did.
Right.
You mentioned to me that, yeah, maybe there was some involvement with how.
Okay. Investigators, have we turned up the heat? Do we see a different tempo coming back from the smoke break?
Oh yeah, 100%. No more horseplay.
And he's getting more direct. He's going to tighten the noose up on this. He's taking the victim's picture out of the folder so he can't close it up. It's on flat on the table now. He's going to tap it with his hand. He's going to make motions around it as much as possible to draw this guy's attention to the victim's photograph there. But they have definitely turned the dial up, and I think they're going to go in for the kill.
She ended up.
I said maybe some involvement, like as in, like maybe what I would know or how, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily get the exact word, you know what I mean, what you're getting at, or.
Well, she was murdered.
Right.
Do you have any involvement in that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. How were you involved in her murder?
I guess I would say we had an argument and things wasn't going exactly her way, and
I just want to say you may have not picked it up on the audio when they were out smoking. In the distance, you could hear the cracking of wood because that's when he broke. He broke with a cigarette break. He's exhausted after running around the fence when they first let him out in the pasture. And now he's circling the drain and he's about to give it up. But he's going to circle it like we've seen before. Didn't really mean I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a bad guy. He's going to go around it, kind of like circling the drain before he goes down the drain. But he eventually will go down the drain. I predict this.
Just real quick, Joe, am I seeing it right? Did they leave his cuffs on?
Yes.
Okay.
And then they left his handcuffs on. The temperature is warmer inside the room right now, but I think they timed it just perfectly. He's ready to go. But I predict he will go around the rim a few times before he finally dives in and takes some culpability of what happened.
Not the person that, you know what I mean? She comes and goes as she pleases, and whenever she came inside or whatever, she already had what she had in mind, and it seems like I went inside of the couch and she did what she did or whatever, and I don't know, man, but things didn't exactly go her way, and she started saying something to me, and it's like, you know, And I'm like, what the fuck you gonna do? And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? She had a knife, you know what I mean? And like, you know, she was already trying to come at me and shit, man, you know?
Right.
And I'm like, damn. And like I said, man, I had, you know, the gun and shit, man, and, you know, and it was never, you know, never, man, I would, you know, never thought, man, and that was like, you know, she's like, and I'm like, man, chill, you know what I mean? Like, she came at me and shit, man. She was trying to fucking rip off my necklace and shit, you know, and everything. And so I'm like, man, chill, you know what I mean? Chill. And like, all of a sudden, like, she just like, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to, like, you know, like, trying to restrain her, you know what I mean? Just to, like, you know what I mean? And I'm telling her, man, put the fucking knife down, man. Put the knife down, you know what I mean? I like, you know, and she was like, come on, motherfuckers. And I'm like, what? I'm like, nah, man, just stop. Like, stop, right? And she's not starting. She's like, fucking, I don't know, man, but like, fucking arms and shit, like, start twisting and shit. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and like, she's like, bleh. And I'm like, what the fuck? Nah, man, chill. Like, hey, stop. Like, you know what I mean? Stop. Like, and she's like, just like coming at me like fucking like crazy, man. You know what I mean? It's like everything that I had, man. And like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like I couldn't no more, man. And I'm trying everything, bro. I'm trying, you know what I mean? My life. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, nah, man. You know what I mean? The song ain't real. Like, you know what I mean? And like, it was like crazy because like the way her body and shit is, like, you know, and like I'm trying to hold her down, but her fucking like the hips and like the back is like coming up, like lifting me up, like fucking. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, chill, man, chill. You know what I mean? And like all of it, like fucking like that night, you know what I mean? Like come like that, man. And luckily,
Hey, Joe, can you stop
I
real
had,
quick?
you know, right there, man. You know, I didn't know anything else. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's fucking, you know.
Joe.
Yeah. Pulled the trigger.
You shot her?
Yeah.
Where'd you shoot her at?
I shot her right there at the house.
Which house?
My house.
Where did you shoot her on her body?
Inside.
No, on her body.
Inside.
Dude, are you okay? Did she?
What's up, Jason?
It's interesting to watch his the tone in his voice when he starts talking, and then when he starts going into his self-defense mode and how much more animated he gets and he's talking louder. That just an observation that he started off, I think, ready to say something, and then went down a path that he's creating to defend himself. That I don't know if maybe I'm retarded, but that's kind of what I saw.
No, I agree. That's what I call circling the target. They don't go right in and say, yeah, I did it and that's how I did it. They kind of walk around it. I'm not a bad guy. If its circumstances have been different, they're just trying to mitigate it. This is a hard thing, especially when you sit in front of law enforcement. It's a hard thing to say, yeah, I killed someone, and it's going to preoccupy the rest of my life paying for this. So I equate that to what I call circling the drain. They'll go around it a few times, and each time they'll drop down lower on the culpability, getting closer to culpability. Each time they'll do that. Remember the first show we had, the guy that killed the little girl? He'd admit to killing the girl, but he would not admit to sexually assaulting her because he's not that bad. So think about that's the spiral I talk about. They start out at the top. No knowledge. I know nothing. And as the circle keeps going around, it gets tighter to maybe I know something. Maybe I was something. Well, it really wasn't my fault. I'm not a bad guy. And hopefully there's some mercy for me at the end. Or there's an attorney. One of the two things are going to happen. But I think that this guy's playing textbook, and I think these investigators are not really sweating to get this out of him. You want to say something on that, Lamar, before we go?
No, I agree with all said. I was wondering right when you stopped it, I didn't know if he was passing out or not.
He's starting to have some physical reaction. This emotional cascade that's inside is coming out. So let's finish it up. We're getting short on time.
Get you with the knife or anything? She hurt you at all?
No, she didn't hurt me at all or nothing, man.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. No, he's being the advocate for the victim. He's acknowledged this girl come over and attacked him, had a knife. He's like, oh my God, are you okay? But notice the body position, folks. We're going in for the kill. When the investigator gets knee to knee with you like that, it's to take away your personal comfort. He's invading into your personal space. So the temperature is definitely up full blast. This guy's going for confession or attorney at this point. They'll be one of the two.
And it's just,
I mean, literally, are you okay? If she had a knife, I need to.
yeah, she had a knife on her, man. But like I said, when the way things happen and shit, like I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? I didn't
Right.
want to tell nobody nothing and shit. And I'm like, dude, like this shit ain't right. You know what I mean? Looking at her, I want to like look at her, man. You know what I mean? But like when I did, like her shit was like fucking. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Something is not right, dude. Something was not right. Like.
Y'all been getting high or something, or what was the deal? Can you walk me back to that backstory?
I mean, as far as getting high, man, like I hadn't seen her. I hadn't like that's what you don't understand. Like I don't ever like when I see her, like she just comes in and just like, you know, I could fucking even think, you know what I mean? Like be thinking of this shit and like just fucking crazy shit would happen and she'll just show up out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Yeah, like out of fucking nowhere, bro. And like, you know what I mean? And like the people that she says like she was like fucking, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like 1 minute she'll be there and then the next fucking she'll just be split gone.
That doesn't sound like a normal person.
Exactly. You know.
When did this all happen, man?
This happened, shit. It's already been a long time.
Real quick, I just want to point out the investigator having empathy for him as being a victim in this, that once again, you're not a bad guy. Bad things happen to good people. You'll hear that a lot in interrogations. If you're on the hot seat, you shouldn't believe that they really don't have that much empathy for you.
Like how long ago?
Like, I guess whenever y'all would say, I don't know, probably, I don't know, days ago, I guess, whenever, I don't know, I wouldn't exactly say.
Today's Wednesday.
Probably about 3 or 4 days ago.
3 or 4 days ago?
I would just say as he's talking, one thing about his body language, he is completely given up.
Okay.
Shoulders completely slouched. He's
That's a long
essentially
time
sunken
compared to
into
what I
himself.
see on her body. I look at her body we saw yesterday, and it doesn't look like it happened 4 or 5 days ago. It looked like it happened either yesterday, probably yesterday. You think that's possible?
Well, another note on that, he did it verbally as well. Said, yeah, well, I might have had something to do with it or something. You know, he started giving in on that. His defenses are all gone. So no, I agree with you, Lamar, but you're also seeing that in his demeanor.
I don't think it was yesterday. No.
You don't think so?
No, sir.
Okay. We can work on that. We'll work on that here in just a second. Let's go with you nobody's calling you. You're wondering what the fuck to do. You're sitting there. How did the body get out of your house, man?
I took it.
Okay.
Yes.
How did you get it out of your house?
You know what I mean? Put in the deal and fucking.
What's the deal? I don't understand what the deal is.
Blanket.
What kind of blanket?
Just regular wrapped up blue blanket. There was all kinds of them in there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I just wanted.
Okay, and distinctly, it was said that she was found in very distinct or recognizable blankets. So once again, I'll say this investigator is going textbook. He's pulling concrete out of this guy's story amongst all the BS and weeds that he's throwing, things that he will go back and be able to say only the killer would have known. Only the person that was involved could have done this. And I've got evidence in these 2 locations. I think this investigator is doing top notch.
To have everything, man. I like know what the fuck, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, this shit is not right. Like, you know what I mean? And like, what I would like wanted, you know what I mean? People to like, and it's like, nah, man.
Well,
see shit
okay.
Like that. Like,
you wrapped her up in a blanket, and then what'd you do with her?
And I put her inside the deal in the car.
What's the deal?
In the car.
What did you put her inside of?
Inside of a bin.
A bin? What color is your bin? Blue bin?
Yeah.
Did you put anything around that bin?
No, besides just the covers that she was in and stuff like that, whatever. You know?
Tape it or tie it or anything?
I did try to keep the deal around it. You know what I mean? So
What the
it
deal?
was a rope.
A little rope? What kind of rope? A white rope?
Yeah.
And what color was the blanket?
There was one that was gray. There was probably one that was black. There was probably one that was like, I don't know, different colors and stuff, like a suede-ish.
Okay, and I'm gonna just say it one more time. This investigator has just built enough things that he can go out and prove that only the killer would know, so that makes this guy confession believable. Now it's a confession that he can actually use in court. In Texas, you've got to be able to back with evidence someone's verbal confession. A verbal confession alone can't be used in court.
Color, you know.
How many shots did you fire?
I didn't even want to fire one.
I understand.
Bro.
Just one shot?
I mean, shit. You know, man. Come on.
I do,
stop bullshitting
but
me.
and I'm not trying to bullshit you, Andres.
All right.
Brother, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to do anything. What I'm here to do is just get you to tell me your side of the story.
And that's the thing, though, man.
So it's
you know
one
what I mean?
shot?
That was it.
Were you in front of her? Were you beside her, behind her? How was this?
Yeah, I was.
Can you stand up and show me?
I was on the side of her.
Can you stand up and show me?
Yeah.
If I'm her.
My sweet God.
Right, hey, this is my left side. This is my right side.
Right.
Tell me again, Jason. Tell me again how this guy just don't know what he's doing. Tell me again. He's going to get this guy to reenact on video killing this girl. Tell me again, Jason. I'm listening for it.
This is unbelievable.
Tell me again.
You're being dramatic, Joe.
Oh, am
This
I?
is the easiest.
Okay, hang on. Let's finish it up. Let's see how dramatic I am. Let's go.
Where was she standing?
Like she was already coming, like
Coming right here?
Yeah, she was already like coming towards me. You know what
Uh-huh.
I mean? And so like what I like, you know what I mean? Like what I did, like you know what I mean? Like push it back like this way. You know what I mean?
Man, go ahead, dude.
Yeah,
Dude,
like,
show me
you know
what
I
you
mean?
did.
Like you know what I mean? And
Uh-huh.
like she was already like down on the deal. You know?
Was she on the ground? Or like?
Nah, she's standing up.
She's standing up.
Yeah, she's standing up, and she got the knife, and she's coming at me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so like I grabbed the knife like
Hey,
that.
Court, can you do me a favor? Yeah. Can you set this outside the room for me?
And-
What arm does she have the knife in? What hand?
Dude, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these cups off as soon as I put that. We're not gonna smoke in my building though, okay? But we'll get you back out there to smoke here in a second. Anyways.
Yeah, so you can use both hands to show me exactly how this happened on video,
with the
sir.
knife, you know what I mean? Like, and
Right.
you got to remember now, I'm sitting down
Where are you sitting?
on the couch.
This is insane.
Right, there was one across.
Yeah,
from me,
these
one
guys
right
need
here.
to teach.
Could you
This
draw
is
me like
unbelievable.
a picture of the room and the house that you live in? Can you draw that for me?
Draw me a picture.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I just gotta wrap my hand around. I just gotta wrap my head around it, okay? Let's see. So right here like this.
Yeah, I don't want that on the
Okay.
drawing board because I'm gonna tear this
Here's
off
the
and
chart.
show you as evidence.
All right, so look, check it out. The couch is right here. Right, there's another.
Where's the front door?
Right here. There's a front door right here. All right, so she's right here. You know what I mean?
Where are you?
I'm right here. It's me. All right. So, and she's right here. So, like, I'm sitting down, and
Uh-huh.
like, when I see it come up, she's got the knife, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? She's talking.
Can you put an X where you are?
Yeah, I'm right here.
And put an X where she is, or a 0 or something. Like tic-tac-toe, man. Just show me two
So
different
she's right
things.
here, right? So I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And I see the knife in her hand, and so she gets up and she's like, well, like, what the fuck? And then, like, you know what I mean? About whatever.
These
dog
investigators
line,
will
you
be
know what I
talking
mean?
about
And
this
I'm
the
like,
rest of their life.
what are you talking about?
That's the
First
first
of
time
all?
they've done this.
So you know what I mean? And
The
so she
suspect
comes
right
at
now
me,
is going for
and
a
I'm like, you know, the only
self-defense
thing
case.
I think I can do is like, you know, like fucking.
Yeah, this.
Okay, on that note, I don't mean to delay this any longer, but you guys do pay attention. He is trying to build up like it wasn't my fault. She attacked me, so I had to do self-defense. But once again, these investigators do a great job on the tail end of this, and I do know what happens at the end. But they do a great job on putting every bit of this to bed. And go back to the concrete, the rocks I talk about. You'll hear a lot of BS in these interviews, in these interrogations, but you'll see investigators go back once again. Well, what time were you at the gas station? Did you have your car yesterday? You didn't have it. What times did you not have it? They're locking them down in these concrete things. They can go back after the interview and confirm or deny, so to speak. But they use, they pin him down very well on this. They're able to go back in his self-defense case. I'll give it up. It's not going to work. And it's because of these investigators in this interview.
Do something, you know what I mean? So like I said, I come and I get her, I restrain her, you know what I mean? She's going crazy, and I'm telling her, hey, let go of the knife, let go of the knife, you know what I mean? Like there's to be.
So she's got the knife over here. You get up and go over there.
Like right there in the middle,
Right
you know
in the
what I mean?
middle?
Yeah, like 'cause she's
Y'all
already,
meet in the middle and what
she's
happens?
already up, like, you know
If
what I
I'm
mean?
her and I've got this knife,
Right.
what happens?
So I get her like this,
Uh-huh.
and then I spin her down that way,
Uh-huh.
and like I'm telling her, hey, let go of the.
Okay, I just need a moment of silence here. Yes, the investigator's playing the victim, and he's going to reenact how he kills her. This is gold.
The knife, let go of the knife, and she's like, nah, you know what I mean? So like, and I got her like that.
You
like,
can just stay on me like a
like,
bird.
like, it's like a couch, like I'm going down, like on her like that, right?
Like this?
Yeah, well, see, I'm going down on her,
Uh-huh.
and like she's trying to like come with the knife,
Right.
but like when I have her like right here
Uh-huh.
in her arms, like
Uh-huh.
like her fucking like her arms like started twisting because I wanted to get the knife,
Is she
right?
going up with the knife or down with the knife?
Like coming, it's still coming
Still
up,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
And then like I got her arms like her hands right here like this, but her fucking elbows. And shit,
Even the
like,
room
like,
awareness of the other
like,
investigator there to get out of the way of the camera. These guys are good, man.
Well, I was going to point out, and we're running short on time, but if you notice when he first started doing the hands-on reenactment, he looked at the other, notice the other officer. He goes from leaning back in the seat to kind of going into a stance seat because he's ready to go in case this guy gets goofy there. And then, of course, removing the gun was a good move. But no, these investigators are pretty good. I wouldn't want to sit in the hot seat with them.
This is the dumbest suspect I've ever seen in my life.
There you go. You're just going to try to kick my investigators in the teeth. That's fine. That's fine.
No. Good Lord.
Just saying.
Not trying to get away from, like, trying to get, you know what I mean? And okay. Let go of the knife. Like, I'm not going to do nothing to you. Right. You know what I mean? Right. I'm not going to do anything to you. You know what I mean? And what's she saying? She's doing all that growling shit. Okay. You know what I mean? And like, and when I have her down like this, and I'm like trying to look like she's already coming back up, like with her hips and like right. She's trying to lift you back up. Yeah, but she is like off the ground, but like high in the motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's not normal. You know what I mean? Because like the way she stands, like, you know what I mean? Right. And I'm still trying to do it, and I'm trying to tell her stop. Right.
She's like, oh, let's do it. You said it. Let's do it.
I'm telling her stop. You know what I mean? Let go of the knife, man. I'm like, you know what I mean? Don't fucking do this to me. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? And she's like, continue like that. And like, all I could do, like, you know what I mean? If there was anything, if I would let go or did anything besides, all I could do was just to fucking grab. You know what I mean? And for some reason, it was right there, man. And and that's all I could do was just, you know what I mean? At just one time and just.
Kind of show us how it happened.
Yeah, do it one more time.
She's trying to get
right, and so she's down like this, right? And like I got her, and then finally, like I'm on top, you know what I mean? And I'm telling her to stop, you know what I mean? And
I would never let this happen.
She's still coming at me, and like, you know what I mean? All I do is I grab the gun like that, and I tell her to fucking stop. And like when she comes like that, like to the, like this, yeah.
Well, hold up, we're short on time. You would never let what? Let a suspect use you as the victim and show you how you killed them?
Not like this. No, I would never let that happen in an interrogation room. That's no.
I don't know. My partner would be the guy that's this test dummy, but this right here is I think it prosecuting gold.
I get that side to it, but that is not.
Well, you wouldn't do it because you don't know the subject with his paws on you. I'm the same way, but I always had somebody that would be willing to do it. If you're willing to demonstrate how you killed someone, I'm willing to put a test dummy in there so you can show me.
That is the dumbest suspect I have ever seen in my life.
And I want to make a comment on this. Grammatical Fiction says, I found it remarkable that the officer had his sidearm in that room. An officer alone, and there's been some cases, this has gone on for some time, you'll see these pop up where there's a subject able to overpower an officer or gets a gun into the interrogation room and offs himself or offs the officer. But I would say with these two guys in there, that second man that didn't do all the talking, he's got your back. If that guy goes with the gun, he's going to get dropped in there. It's be no different than a traffic stop. You've got a subject on the side of the road. You're armed there as well. There are agencies that do have policies where you don't take firearms into interrogation rooms, but it varies from agency to agency. I won't say it's a great practice, but I won't gig it when you've got investigators who are working, in my opinion, in the caliber that these guys are, that they're married together and they know what's going on. You're not going to get one of them without the other getting you.
Like that, all I could do was just, you know what I mean?
Just squeeze the trigger?
Yes, sir.
One time. And where to hit her?
We can't have guns in interrogation rooms.
It varies from agency.
After obtaining Ramirez's confession, prosecutors were able to use his own interrogation video against him at trial, methodically exposing the inconsistencies in his story. Despite his elaborate claims of self-defense during a violent struggle with Camille, investigators noted Ramirez had no defensive wounds or injuries whatsoever on his body.
I'll go back again. He said, oh my God, are you hurt? Everything okay? And that's the reason he brought that up. The girl brought a knife to the fight and that he was defending himself. Here's how they defeat his self-defense case. His own words used against him with physical evidence that they can prove.
Not a single cut or scratch that would indicate he had wrestled with someone holding a knife. Forensic evidence further undermined his account. The gunshot was determined to be at extremely close range, with stippling and burn marks on her skin consistent with an execution-style killing rather than a chaotic struggle. The bullet trajectory through Camille's temple and into the back frame of the couch indicated she was laying down when shot. not standing and attacking as Ramirez had demonstrated. While the exact motive was never definitively established, testimony suggested Ramirez had developed possessive feelings for Camille that weren't reciprocated. This rejection, combined with his volatile temperament, likely triggered his lethal response. Camille Garcia left behind 2 young children who now live with family members. Her father continues to keep her memory alive for them. Andres Ramirez was charged with first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Well, there's the last one. We got some time for some final comments, and then we'll kick off an after party on the X space. Anybody that's on X wants to join our after party, shoot me a DM. I'll make sure you get an invite, or join our group if you go to my profile, pinned to the top. It's the Night Court community. If you'll join that, it keeps you up with everything that we've got going on. Any final comments on this case?
I would just say, firstly, kudos to you, Joe. You found some bangers for this iteration, and I continue to be amazed. I think for those of you that regularly come back, you'll notice some commonalities, and I will continue to say it until people get annoyed. And that is, your physiology is something that you cannot control outside of very specific instances, and it'll always betray you. So when these interrogators have you in the box and they're closing you in, your body in your language, all that kind of, it's going to do stuff that you don't want it to do, and it's going to give all the signals to the folks that are in that room with you that you're done.
I agree, Jason.
That guy would have made 2 kindergartners as interrogators look amazing.
Ah, there we go. That's some bunch of bullshit.
That guy's dumber than shit. Oh my God. Anyway, no,
I'm going to still
they did
say
a good job. They did a good job. I'm just giving you shit.
I'm going to say, and I've seen that you see that in a lot of sheriff's offices in Texas. It may could be everywhere else, but it's in Texas. I've dealt with a lot of sheriff's officer investigators. They can just seem like the goodest old boys and not real smart, but them boys play hardball, and I wouldn't want to sit in the hot seat there with them. Guys, that's our show. Catch us on Friday night for police video reviews, the grand jury. I've still got spots for 2 more grand jurors. If anybody's out there would like to volunteer to be a grand jurist on our Friday night show, shoot me a DM on X and I'll get you set up. We've got a great show coming up on Friday. We're going to look at an incident in Oregon of a killing of Lavoy Finnick and whether we think that's justified or not. There's a lot of stuff out there.